So the Daily Beast dropped a wild story on us about something that Trump admits privately. This is such an I told you so moment here. Take a look. As he campaigns for re-election, Donald Trump and his team have made trashing the socialists or communists in the 2020 Democratic presidential field a cornerstone of their messaging. In private, however, the president often strikes a different, more nuanced tone, one driven by a concern that socialism, at least as defined by the Democrats, may actually sell politically. This year, Trump has reportedly told friends and donors that running against socialism in a general election may not be so easy because of its populist draw. According to 4 Republicans and sources close to Trump who've heard him say this over the past several months. According to a person who was in the room, Trump told donors at a recent private event that though a lot of people think it'll be easy to beat in 2020, the truth is it might not be so easy. The president, according to the source, said that, quote, "You can have someone who loves Trump, but many people love free stuff too." He added that if candidates tell Americans, especially young voters, that they're going to cancel their debt, that's a tough one to run against. Donald Trump does 2 things well. One of them is marketing. The other one is reading a room. Those are the only 2 things that Donald Trump does well. Marketing, Trump's great, Trump. Here's my name on a building. Here's my name over here. I'm the boss man, yada, yada. You guys know all that. He's an abysmal failure in business. He's terrible politically, but he knows how to market. And he knows how to read a room, which is why when he was giving those rallies on the campaign trail, no other Republican candidate could come close to the enthusiasm that he was getting. Hillary couldn't come close to the enthusiasm that Trump was getting at his rallies because he knows how to read a room and he knows how to feed off that energy and steer it the way that they want to go. Now, he's also a buffoon and he makes no sense and he contradicts himself. All that stuff is true, but he knows how to read a room. So something that I pointed out nonstop in 2016 that, of course, virtually all the mainstream pundits missed, is that Donald Trump was not running as a standard traditional Republican. He was not running like Mitt Romney. He was not running like John McCain. He was saying stuff like, on trade, for example, I'm going to keep your jobs here. It's going to be tremendous. We're going to rebuild this country. We're going to stop the wars. We're going to rebuild this country because why are we wasting all the money overseas? He even said, I think it was a 60 Minutes interview, where he spoke about, well, everybody's going to have health care. And the host pushed back. And I was like, well, who's going to pay for it? He said, the government's going to pay for it. I remember going, oh my goodness. See, what he has that a lot of the other Republicans don't have is the instincts. The quick instincts that you need to be successful as a politician. Whereas guys like Mitt Romney, he's too ideological in that he actually believes in deregulation and trickle-down economics and free trade and outsourcing jobs and whatnot. So he just tells you the wrong thing. Where Trump's like, I know that's not going to sell. I know it's not going to sell if I'm like, yeah, NAFTA was great. So what does he do? He runs in the opposite direction. And it worked. So what Trump knows, and we could have guessed that he knew this, but now he's admitting it behind the scenes. What this is, very clearly is, Trump saying, I'm scared of Bernie. That's what he's saying. Because the specific point is, the truth is it might not be so easy. You can have someone who loves Trump, but many people love free stuff. He added that if candidates tell Americans, especially young Americans, that they're going to cancel their debt, that's a tough one to run against. Who's proposed those plans? Who's proposed not only canceling student loan debt, but also canceling medical debt and canceling all of it? Answer: America's dad, Bernard Sanders. He's the only candidate who's running on that full debt cancellation of medical debt and student loan debt. By the way, 2 kinds of debt that literally shouldn't exist, and Bernard Sanders knows this, and he's running on it. And this is the exact thing that's scaring Trump. By the way, if I'm Bernie Sanders, I frame this and hang it over my bed and wake up every morning and look at it. Because Trump just told you the argument he's least capable to respond to. He just told you. He laid it out for you in no uncertain terms. So if I'm Bernie Sanders, I start incorporating now during my rallies, my stump speeches, I start saying now, I add student loan debt cancellation and medical debt cancellation. That hops the line. That goes right up there along with Medicare for all. Because that's, Bernie brings that up a lot. He brings up Medicare for all and income inequality, probably the most. Those are the two he brings up the most. So, but now these should be right up there and tied. Because Trump has no response to them. He doesn't have a response to them. Because he knows, oh my God, that's really good, bro. That's really good, and that's going to get a lot of votes, dog. So if I'm Bernie, if I'm his campaign, I make a point in every speech to bring this up. I make a point where when you're on the debate stage with Trump, this is one of the go-to points you make. Whatever he brings up, and you apply pressure to him. You put it on him. You say, what this campaign is running on is eliminating student loan debt and eliminating medical debt, two things that shouldn't exist in a civilized country. Donald, why are you not for eliminating medical debt and eliminating student loan debt? Explain to the good people of this country why they should go bankrupt because they have a medical bill, why they should not be able to afford a new place to live or a new car because of student loan debt. He's telling you, man. He's telling you. This is just verification of what we knew all along. And you got to understand, guys, to you this is obvious. To you this is obvious. This is not even close to obvious to mainstream media. If anything, they think the opposite is the case, and they're dead set in that belief. So in other words, what do they think? Well, in order to beat Donald Trump, we need to have a serious candidate like Joe Biden who talks about corn pop and record players, and we need to have a serious candidate who's very reasonable and moderate and centrist like Amy Klobuchar. Amy Klobuchar would definitely beat Donald Trump because she's so reasonable and soft-spoken and she has very intelligent centrist policies. Donald Trump would obliterate. Biden is the weakest candidate by far, but probably the second weakest candidate is a tie between Delaney and Klobuchar. So the people who the media thinks, those are the ones, yeah, those are the ones that are the weakest. And Trump is admitting it behind the closed doors. He's like, I don't know, man. Can I run against eliminating student loan debt and stuff? That's a tough one because that sells. People could love Trump, but they love free stuff. And he's not even using free stuff in the derisive way here, because that's usually the Republicans when they're in public. It's like, hey, you want to give everybody free stuff? Want to give everybody free stuff? But it's clear what he's saying in the context of this story is like, that shit is actually really potent and kind of politically powerful. People love Trump, but of course they love free stuff. It's not really stuff, it's basics in society, like education and healthcare. But see, he knows that deep down. He knows that. He knows that. Bernie's the way to go, man. And don't even give me this nonsense like, oh, well, what about Elizabeth Warren? She's not in favor of fully getting rid of medical debt and student loan debt. She's not. Bernie is. This is Trump admitting, I'm scared of Bernie Sanders. And you know it's real because it was behind the scenes. I don't think Trump would say this publicly. He wouldn't broadcast this publicly. So it's like only when it's on the low, behind the scenes. I don't know, man. That one's going to be a little bit tough. So, I love this picture, by the way. It's so funny. But there you have it. My instincts and your instincts were absolutely correct, and this is proof of it.